The night hangs heavy over Maple Street, a thick, inky blanket that swallows the familiar shapes of manicured lawns and picket fences. Inside number 17, the silence is a living thing, broken only by the steady, almost accusing tick of the grandfather clock in the hall. Tick-tock, it's a countdown, each swing of the pendulum slicing another second from the peaceful illusion of home. 11:57 p.m. The house holds its breath. Emma sits frozen on the edge of the sofa, her gaze locked on the front door. The wood seems to ripple in the dim light, the brass knocker like a closed eye watching her back. Why is she so afraid? It's just a door, her door. But tonight, it feels like a gateway to something else, something waiting just on the other side of that thin layer of paint and wood. Her heart thuds in her chest, a frantic drumbeat against the clock's stoic rhythm. Tick-tock. She can hear the wind sighing outside, a lonely sound that scrapes at the windows like brittle fingers. 11:58. The air grows cold, prickling the hairs on her arms. Every shadow seems to deepen, to stretch, to twist into unfamiliar forms in the periphery of her vision. Jam 11:59. She holds her breath. The final tick of the clock seems to echo into an eternity before the first chime of midnight rings out, and with it, the sound comes. Boom! The first knock isn't a knock at all. It's a concussion, a physical blow that vibrates through the floorboards and up her spine. Boom! The second one rattles. The small frame hanging on the wall, its glass shivering. B-O-O-M. The third and final one feels like a demand, a summons. Then, absolute silence. The clock is quiet, the wind is still. Even her own frantic heartbeat seems to have stopped. She doesn't dare breathe. The silence stretches, taut and thin, threatening to snap. Emma pushes herself backward, her socked feet sliding silently on the hardwood floor, her eyes never leaving the door. She needs to get away, to put as much distance as possible between her and whatever is on the other side. Then a new sound. Softer, a gentle tap, almost polite tap, tap, tap. It's more unnerving than the violent banging. It's patient. And then a voice, a rasping, dry whisper that seems to slide through the keyhole and curl directly into her ear. Emma. It knows her name. A strangled gasp escapes her lips. The name is hers, but the sound of it is alien, twisted, like her own voice played back from a warped recording. The lights above her flicker violently, plunging the room into a strobe-like nightmare of light and shadow before dying completely, leaving her in near total darkness. Panic, cold and sharp, finally breaks her paralysis. She scrambles to her feet, stumbling blindly toward the kitchen. Her hands fly across the countertops, searching for something, anything. Her fingers close around the cold, familiar handle of a chef's knife. The weight is pitifully small, but it's something. She clutches it, her knuckles white, her breath coming in ragged, shallow bursts. Behind her, a low groan fills the house, the sound of old, protesting hinges. The front door is opening by itself. A frigid gust of wind, carrying the scent of damp earth and decay, rushes in, extinguishing the last bit of warmth in the house. It's inside. It's inside with her. She doesn't wait to see it. She turns and runs, a choked sob caught in her throat. Her bedroom. The door. It's the only sanctuary she can think of. She slams it shut behind her, the sound echoing the violent knocks from before. She fumbles with the lock, her trembling fingers barely able to turn the small metal knob. Locked, safe, she presses her back against the door, sliding down to the floor, curling into a tight ball in the corner. Her eyes dart around the familiar room, now a cage of terrifying shadows. The shaking is uncontrollable now, a tremor that starts deep in her bones. She waits, listening, and the knocking starts again. Boom! It's not from the front door. Boom! It's not from her bedroom door. It's in the room with her. Boom! It's coming from right behind her head. She flinches away from the wall, scrambling across the floor, her eyes wide with a terror that has no name. The sound is coming from the wardrobe, the tall wooden wardrobe that has stood in this corner since her childhood, filled with old clothes and forgotten memories. Her gaze fixes on its door. It's a solid piece of oak, dark and imposing. As she watches, her breath hitched in her throat, she sees the wood begin to bulge outward, pushed from within, and then a hand, pale, waxy, and utterly inhuman. Its long fingers press against the wood from the inside, finding a rhythm. Knock, knock, knock. It's not just knocking on a door anymore. It's knocking to get out.